Welcome gamers and unicorn enthusiasts to a video about Unicorn Overlord, a new strategy RPG from Vanillaware and Atlas. The game is currently available in a 5-hour demo where the progress carries over to the retail game if you so choose to purchase it. By the way, that game comes out on March 8th, which is just a week away. So I spent some time playing the game and I thought I would share my thoughts with you all. And I'll start right off by saying some good news and some bad news. The good news is that this is a very well thought out and well made strategy RPG that a lot of you are going to like. The bad news is there haven't been any unicorns yet. Now, I don't know if there's going to be some later in the game, but at this stage, there ain't any. Let's talk about the gameplay first because it's probably pretty important to you. In Unicorn Overlord, you march units of characters in real time across a battle map, and when they bump into each other, a battle will ensue. The way that you build up your units is important because the different classes in the game have different strengths and weaknesses, but also how you set up your units in their formations can also affect the outcome of battle. Each unit has a set amount of times it can fight before it has to rest, so you can't use a stacked unit to take on the entire map. This is pretty important because at the beginning of the game, you have Joseph who can just delete a lot of enemies for you. And if your unit runs out of stamina, it doesn't mean that they're out of the battle forever, because you can garrison them at a fort or a city to rest or to use a valor ability to be able to recover their stamina. At the start of every battle stage, you will have a certain level of valor, and this is used to deploy your units. And when you eventually acquire more units, you're going to need to be more strategic about how you deploy at the beginning of a map, because you'll need to go out and build up more valor by liberating towns and taking out enemies, and that will then allow you to deploy the rest of your units. However, there's also going to be things like valor abilities, which are character abilities to allow you to heal, attack, and buff your units. The battles have a lot going for them, and I can see that when you progress into the later stages of the game, they're going to become quite complex. The combat itself is beautiful, but don't you worry, you can fast forward combat or fully skip it if you wish. I found myself watching combat most of the time, but sometimes the enemy is generating the same reinforcement over and over, and you just know how that battle's gonna go, so I skipped it. You can also fast forward map movement, so don't worry about spending too much time in battles. I was really impressed by the overworld in Unicorn Overlord. When I saw videos of it initially, I thought we would just explore small zones in between stages, but it is a fully functioning overworld, and you can go in multiple directions all over this big, gorgeous map. Every so often, you're going to reach a territory that is occupied by the enemy, and you have to complete a stage in order to liberate it. There are towns and forts everywhere, and in these towns you can buy equipment and complete deliveries. The deliveries give you honor, gold, and renown, but they also unlock more functionality in the town later on. The items for deliveries can be found all over the map, and I liked having little things to do while I explore, and I like that you can pick which towns you're going to work on first. The forts allow you to expand your unit's maximum size, and they also allow you to unlock entirely new units to fill with your characters. You can do this by spending your honor, so it's going to be a balance between either adding another slot to an existing unit or unlocking a brand new unit so you have more units total to fight on a map. You can also hire mercenaries at forts to fill your ranks, and you can complete some mock battles there if you want to test out some formations. At the start of the game, after the first few battles, you are given a quest marker that is quite far away on the world map, and it's your choice how you get there. And I've found that I could take on countless different missions to unlock and free new areas, and that really appeals to me because I like a little bit of freedom. It's cool that my goal is still right there ahead of me, but this is really a game that gives you the flexibility to recruit characters in different order, to liberate certain areas on your way to an end destination, but it's not locking you in to a set campaign that is very rigid. The story in Unicorn Overlord is pretty straightforward, at least at the beginning. The main character, Elaine, is the crown prince of Cornea. However, he has been hiding for 10 years as Valmor, a celebrated general of Cornea, led a coup to kill the queen and take over the country. And in the last 10 years, while Elaine has been hiding, Valmor has renamed himself Galeria. He's conquered the entire continent and he's declared himself the ruler of the ancient Zenorian Empire. So I thought it was kind of strange that he was able to conquer such a large space in 10 years, but that was very quickly explained as well. You see, it seems that Valmor/Galeria is tapping into a dark power which taints people and bends them to his will. And many influential military and political leaders simply switched to his side. So I guess it does make sense how he was able to take over the entire world in 10 years. So Elaine is finally discovered on the island that he's been hiding out on, but with the help of his allies, he fights off the Zenorian forces. He also discovers that one of his mother's loyal guard, Roderick, has sided with the enemy, which is unthinkable. But with the use of his royal ring, the Ring of the Unicorn, Elaine clears any evil nesting in Roderick's heart, and he becomes good again, and he joins your party. So the party sets off for mainland Cornea to begin their rebellion in earnest as they form the Liberation Army, but however, they arrive, and Elaine's friend Scarlet is kidnapped unexpectedly. So the first leg of the game is the attempt to rescue her from Zenorian clutches, but you must build up your army first, and that's where you get that flexibility to kind of go about the world as you see fit. The music in Unicorn Overlord is excellent, so I definitely wanted to mention it. There's a lot of pieces that remind me of Ogre Battle, which I think is intentional, and Mitsuhiro Kaneda has done a really good job composing the soundtrack. I'm really pumped to hear more from it. And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed our brief journey into Unicorn Overlord. The game releases March 8th, and I will be picking it up right away on release. I hope to stream a bit of it too, so please let me know if you want to see some of that and stop by if you can. I'll be reviewing the whole game as well, whenever I get around to finishing it. And if you're wondering my opinion about the demo, whether or not you should be picking this up on release, I do think that it's going to be worth getting it right away. Now, I know that there are a ton of RPGs coming out in March and just in this quarter in general, but I think this one won't disappoint. Before we part ways, I just want to hear from you. So let me know if you've played the demo. What is your favorite aspect of Unicorn Overlord? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and we will start a discussion about it. Otherwise, if there's any other games that you'd like to see me cover on this channel, let me know and I will get to it. And with that said, I'm going to get out of here. So thanks so much for watching. We'll see you all in the next one.